Welcome back, everyone, to Easy English. I'm John.
And I'm Sarah. We're here to help you improve your English while discussing interesting topics. Today, we have a fascinating topic: the questions kids ask and how parents respond. This is based on a recent survey commissioned by Amazon Alexa.
That's right, Sarah. The survey found that 54% of parents don't always have answers to their kids' questions. Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely, John. Kids are naturally curious, and sometimes their questions can really stump parents. The survey, conducted by Kantar, involved over 750 parents across 6 cities in June 2024.
Let's dive into some of the most common questions kids ask. For example, questions like how to make a car, how big is the universe, how does an airplane fly, and how do fish breathe underwater?
Those are tough questions. And surprisingly, even simpler questions can puzzle parents. Like, what season comes between winter and summer? Why do parents have to work? And why do we wash vegetables?
You know, Sarah, the survey also found that kids ask the most questions while watching TV, with 63% of parents reporting this. Other triggers include traveling, studying, outdoor activities, watching content on handheld devices, and listening to adult conversations.
That's right, John. And the topics kids are curious about range from food, animals, and nature to general knowledge, holidays, technology, and movies. It's a wide range of interests.
For those of you tuning in, do you have any funny or surprising questions your kids have asked? Share them with us on social media with the hashtag #LearningTogetherQuestions. We'd love to hear your stories.
Yes, please do. Now back to the survey. It found that more than 80% of parents use technology to find information for their children's questions. Voice AI services like Alexa have become invaluable tools.
And over 90% of parents encourage their kids to ask more questions, fostering continuous learning. Nearly 92% of parents said they learn new things themselves in the process of answering their kids' questions. It's a win-win.
Speaking of learning, John, what's one new thing you've learned from answering a question?
Great question, Sarah. My daughter once asked why the sky is blue, and I learned about the scattering of light in our atmosphere. What about you?
For me, it was about how bees make honey. I had no idea how complex and fascinating the process is until my son asked.
That's the beauty of curiosity. It keeps both kids and parents learning. And that's what we're here for, to keep the learning going.
Absolutely. So to all the parents out there, keep encouraging your kids to ask questions. And don't worry if you don't always have the answers. Technology can help bridge that gap.
And for our listeners, remember to keep practicing your English by engaging with us and sharing your experiences. Learning is a journey we're all on together.
Thanks for joining us today on Easy English. Don't forget to subscribe and share our podcast with your friends. Oh, John forgot to tell you one more interesting point from the survey is that kids' curiosity is often sparked by different activities. For instance, 57% of parents reported that their children ask more questions while traveling. Have you experienced that, John?
Oh, definitely, Sarah. My son loves asking questions about everything he sees when we travel. It's like every new sight triggers a dozen questions.
I can relate. Traveling is a great way to expose kids to new environments and cultures, which naturally leads to more questions. Another interesting finding is that 56% of kids' questions come up during studying and 55% during outdoor activities.
And it makes sense. Outdoor activities offer so many learning opportunities. A simple walk in the park can lead to questions about plants, animals, and the environment.
Exactly. And let's not forget, 52% of kids ask questions while watching content on handheld devices. With so much information at their fingertips, it's no wonder they're curious.
True. And 50% of questions arise from listening to adult conversations. Kids are always listening and picking up on what we say, which often leads to some very interesting questions.
Speaking of interesting questions, let's read a few from our listeners. We asked you to share funny or surprising questions your kids have asked using the hashtag #LearningTogetherQuestions. Here are a couple we received.
Here's one from Maria in New York. She says, "My daughter asked me why the moon doesn't fall from the sky." That's a classic question about gravity and space.
That's a great one, Maria. And here's another from David in London. He says, "My son asked why fish don't drown underwater. It's amazing how kids think."
Thanks for sharing, everyone. Keep those questions coming. Now, let's talk about how parents can handle these questions. The survey found that while 52% of parents search for accurate answers immediately, 44% admit to making up answers on the spot.
I think many parents can relate to that. Sometimes you just have to think on your feet. But it's also a good opportunity to show kids how to find reliable information.
That's right. And with technology like Alexa, parents have a handy tool to find answers quickly. But it's also important to encourage kids to think critically and research answers themselves as they grow older.
Absolutely, John. Encouraging kids to ask questions and helping them find answers fosters a love of learning and curiosity. It's all about guiding them to be inquisitive and resourceful.
And as parents, we can learn so much ourselves. The survey mentioned that nearly 92% of parents learn new things when answering their kids' questions. That's a wonderful aspect of parenting.
It is. Learning together strengthens the bond between parents and children and makes the learning process enjoyable for both.
So to wrap up, remember to keep encouraging those questions and embrace the learning journey together. And don't forget to share your experiences with us on social media.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Learning Together. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and share it with your friends and family.
Until next time, keep asking questions and keep learning. And let's keep today's video up till here and meet you in the next video. Goodbye and take care, everyone.